with all the Beatles reviews, we've been diving into some non-album singles that were released at the time that didn't make it on any of the studio Beatles albums. There were two released around this time, and I think the first one was a number one hit because it's on the number one album. That's Paperback Writer.
Yeah, I love this song. Like it starts out like paperback writer. It kind of starts mellow, but then it picks up, and then once it picks up, that's where the meat of the matter is. And just I necessarily don't want to say I would take a song off of Revolver. I know it's been established some people here would put like replace paperback writer with something, but honestly wouldn't mind adding the song onto the album.
Just make it a longer album.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think this album should be 16 songs long.
I mean, the entire album is like a half an hour, so it's not that bad.
I like 14 songs, but it has to warrant being 14 songs. And if Paperback Writer and Ring were on there, it would be like a top 10 favorite album of all time for me. Yeah, this song is pretty awesome because this is like so ahead of its time. I'll put it the way Scott put it for Tom Sawyer. It may sound like a casual pop song, but this is far from a casual pop song. Great guitar work. There's just so much going for the song that the normal person wouldn't get from the song. Like people would just think, "Oh, it's a catchy pop song," but you'd be surprised with how technically proficient this song is. Like on a technical level, this is probably Paul McCartney's most experimental song so far.
Okay, so first to answer who's Gandalf in the Beatles, George. But man, Paperback Writer. I love how it starts out with their voices and they do the harmonies. Paperback Writer, Paperback Writer. And the guitar just comes in. And then Ringo's drumming comes in. Man. Oh, it's just a rocking song, and I love the echo on their voice where he's like, a paperback writer. And then it just goes right back to the acapella part. And then, like, when it gets to the end, when they're doing that falsetto stuff, paperback writer, paperback writer, paperback writer. It's just like a really rocking single for the Beatles. Really good. It's one you want to turn up really loud when you listen to it, just hits you. Another one that's kind of like this is like Revolution, which we'll get to eventually. But like songs that when you hear them, it's just like, man, turn that up. That's rocking.
Yeah, this is another great rock song. Yeah, one of my favorite. Me and Nick have been doing top 10 songs of the years, and this was in my top 10. I don't know if Nick had this in his top 10.
Oh, I had this in my top 10, the A side and the B side. I really love the single.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is me and Nick. Yeah, we praised this song on our top 10 songs. We both thought it was one of the best songs in 1966. As far as hit songs, we only did like kind of the hit singles of that year. So it's not my favorite, like, off of like, necessarily. I mean, it's one of my favorite, but anyways, yeah, I agree with everything you guys are saying. The best part is that paperback, right? Paperback, like that. Cool. That was such a cool idea. That really makes it unique and different. And they did play this live, and they struggled. It was hard. You would think this sounds kind of like a song they could play live, but it was hard. Like it doesn't sound real great either live. Doing that whole paperback, right? That was kind of hard to do in the live setting. And they kind of did struggle with it. They did try it, I think, maybe in Japan when they were in the Budokan, I want to say. They did this song maybe. But yeah, the guitar is great. And some of Paul's best his bass gets in there, do, whatever, how it gets in there. Paul's killing it on bass on here. And Ringo, some of his best drumming. I mean, yeah, instrumentally, yeah, you can say this is one of their best songs.
So it's interesting. Like I mentioned, I have the number one album as well, like Ryan and Jason. And I think it's a great album, but I never thought much about Paperback Writer until this year when re listening to the song again. I realized I really slept on this song. I think this song is absolutely awesome. I love the harmonies on it. Production wise, it's really cool. There's a really cool guitar riff. I love Ringo's drumming on it. It's got a really cool hook to it, being the paperback writer. This is one I think if this was on the album, it would have been in my top five because it's a fantastic Beatles song, great hit song, and I can see why this was a number one hit because it's such an earworm too. And then we follow that up. I think this was either released as its own single or it was the B side, the paperback writer. I think it was the B side. And our last song that we're talking about is Rain.
So this one, I'm kind of glad got left off the album. It's got a good beat and it's fast paced, and I like that. But parts of it, I just could not hear a blessed thing they were saying. I felt like the word, yes, like the words felt almost slurred to me. Like it just felt odd. So fine song like musically, but just lyrically, I'm just like, what is going on here?
Again, I'm gonna have to strongly disagree with you, Ryan. I freaking love this song. Take out, got to get you into my life, and this would be an awesome song to have right before the madness that is Tomorrow Never Knows. I love. It's like when the rain comes, when the rain comes, shine. Rain, I don't mind. Yeah, this is for a B side or a double. I mean, I consider this to be a double A side because I had this in my hit portion of my top hits of '66, and I actually like this better than Paperback Writer slightly. I mean, don't get me wrong; both songs made my top 10 of '66, so I'm not putting down Paperback Writer. I think both are masterpieces, but I think I just slightly prefer this one. Well, the bass line on the song's amazing, and I think the drumming from Ringo is top notch.
Yeah, the real heroes of this song are McCartney's bass and Ringo's drumming, keeping the rhythm down. I like McCartney's kind of really going everywhere with this song on the bass. The drumming, and it's kind of got that dreary sound. I think they slowed it down too. Like they recorded the song and then slowed it down to make it sound more dreary, to kind of go with the theme of the rain. And then I already told the story about when John Lennon got drunk and played it backwards, and that's where we get the backwards vocals at the end. So no, there's no hidden evil messages in this song. It's literally just the chorus played backwards. But it's a cool song and a really good B-side for Paperback Writer.
Yeah, this was one of the coolest underrated like songs that, again, most people will have no idea the song exists. It's just one of those throwaway songs, it feels like, because it's a B-side, it's not on an album. And I don't think this is like one of the songs that I didn't know existed until much later. Probably until like, I remember in 2009, they remastered all the Beatle albums, plus Past Masters 1 and 2.
Oh, yes. Speaking of which, today is the 15th anniversary of the 2009 remasters. 9/9/2009.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Because I remember, because I went and got all the albums. I remember when they remastered them. I had them all on CD, and I got the Past Masters, and I remember hearing the song going, I've been a Beatles fan for a long time, and I still never heard the song before. And I remember hearing the song going, what is this song? This song's amazing. How have I not known this song? Because I don't know, it's just one of those songs that you just don't think about or get around to very often. Because, like I said, it's a B-side to the Paperback Writer, and it's just not one that's advertised as much or whatever, or shown as much. Man, it is really good. Great psychedelic kind of sound to it. I just love, what I love most is just the the rain, that part, and just the guitars are just hitting this note after note, just this ringing sound to it. And then I don't mind, and it goes back into the main part and shy. I don't know. Love how they do that. It's such a cool sound. And again, just I'll say again, the bass playing and drumming is just phenomenal on this one as well.
I feel like if I feel like if this was on Revolver, this would be a lot more beloved by Beatle
Yeah.
fans. This
Oh,
was
yeah.
on Revolver, or even Sgt. Pepper's, or any of the Beatle albums around this time. I
Yeah.
feel like
I say they should have put this on the album and had Dr. Robert be the B-side. Because as much as I love Dr. Robert, it sounds more like a B-side than like. Rain is a good enough song that they could have put that on the album.
for me, I still agree with Jason's substitutes.
All right. Well, so I didn't like Tomorrow Never Knows, but I love the heck out of Rain. To me, this should have been the album closer.
Okay.
I think this is a much better song.
Okay.
I think it's interesting. Yeah, I think Ryan said he couldn't understand John Lennon's vocals on the song. I felt that way with Tomorrow Never Knows. Like, it just felt so distorted. I'm like, what's going on in this song? But I thought he did a good job on this song. It's kind of like this dreary, ominous song because it's about rain. It kind of has this gloomy feel to it. And I like how distorted and experimental it is, but it's done in a way that makes the song cool. And like the harmonies on it are really good. And then the backing vocal at the end, I think is just just adds to the overall technical experimental factor of the song, and I think works in its favor. I think this is a terrific song in general. And I'm going to say it, if it was on the album, much like Paperback Writer, it would have been in my top 5. We got a really big hit for the Beatles, and that is Lady Madonna.
Yeah, I love this one. It's so much fun. It's one of those ones I had no idea was attached to the White Album, but it's another one of those songs that I would just randomly listen to. Just like, I want to hear some Beatles, Lady Madonna. That's my ticket. It's one of those ones I had no idea it was connected to the White Album. Like, if you phantom out Wild Honey Pie and replace it with this, be a perfect album right there.
To be honest, I don't like this as much as Why Don't We Do in the Road. I mean, that's clearly the better choice for the album. I think this is actually a terrible song. That's probably what Paul McCartney said. Now for my opinion, this song's great. I love this song. It's such a fun song. Lady Madonna, Julian at your feet. Wonder how you managed to make ends meet. Who found the money when you paid the rent? Did you think that money was heaven sent? I love the what he gets like Friday night arrives without a suitcase. Sunday morning creeping like a nun. Monday child was learned to bootlace. See how they run.
No.
Lady Madonna, baby at your breast, wonders how you manage to feed the rest. I'm like, this totally fits the White Album. Like, this screams White Album. But no, we had to get, why don't we do it in the road?
We had to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, just no. I love this song though. I mean, it's just a classic Beatles song. It's a crime that it isn't on any of their albums.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a number 1 hit, and I just pulled this out to look, and it's on this album, so it must have been a number 1 hit for the Beatles. Just to say, like, it was a big song. It was very popular. It's on this compilation album of 1, and yeah, it's a shame it didn't get on the album. I hate that they do that. I'm just looking at the back here of 27 number one singles. 9 of them never made it on an album, which I think is just,
Wow.
I hate that they didn't put these huge hit singles on albums, and I would have preferred them to, but that's why they did it. They took off the number one singles and then put them on these albums. Didn't think about making these albums better, but yeah, this definitely would have been a much better song to put on this album. It's a upbeat, catchy song. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
Time to buy a copy of Hey Jude. Am I right? And you get Hey Jude, Revolution, and Lady Madonna all on one album.
Yeah.
But this song's amazing. I know Paul McCartney was kind of wanting to do a song that sounded kind of like Fats Domino, is what he said his inspiration was for this song. I love the piano. I learned how to play the piano part to this. It's not that easy either. It's you got your left hand and your right hand are doing different stuff because the left hand has this really cool walk-in bass thing with the octaves. It's like boom, 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 and then the right hand does the boom, 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 boom. And then the right hand's like boom, 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 like it's like just walking up the notes. I think it's really cool. I especially like whenever he does that piano thing and the horns play along with him with the. And then Nick was talking about it earlier. Whenever they go to the. I love that part. I love the bass on that part. That's like. And then it's right before the see how they run. And then George Harrison has this little guitar thing that walks down that's like
Yeah.
And then you get that riff again. Bow, 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 bow. Surprised no one's talked about the lyrics yet, but it's about a lady who has lots of kids and is struggling to pay the bills. And struggling to keep up with the bills is a very relatable subject.
Very relatable.
Trying to find money.
God, I thought this was a song about the singer.
What? You're saying she's not a material girl? Maybe she's like a surgeon cutting for the very first time. Oh, no, that's Weird Al. But yeah, this and I'm So Tired are very relatable subjects. Trying to get enough money to pay the bills and being tired all the time. Very, very, it hit very close to home here lately.
Yeah, this song is awesome. Again, why is this song not on the album, and why don't we do it in the road? I'll never know.
Because when we release a song as a single, if we put it on the album, then our fans will be paying for the song twice, and that's not fair.
It's not fair. We had to pay for a crappy 1+ minute of why don't we do it in the road?
Yeah.
But yeah, this
I'll
song's
take
awesome.
Twice.
It's I didn't really notice the Fats Domino influence until re-listening to the song again. I'm like, I can see it. The chords, especially on this song, is very similar to one of Fats Domino's biggest hits, particularly "I'm Walking," which is a great song. I love the horn section on this song, which is awesome. And the piano playing's great. And even Paul does some good stuff on here vocally. Again, better than "Why Don't We Do It in the Road." I think if it was on the White Album, because there's so many tracks on it, it wouldn't quite make my top 10 if it was, but it would be a strong honorable mention because it's that good of a song. Now we go to the B-side. We'll see where this one goes. Let's go into The Inner Light.
Completing George Harrison's Indian trilogy.
So I was not a fan of this one. It wasn't terrible. It was fine, but I'm glad it didn't make the cut.
I mean, if this were to replace Wild Honey Pie, I'd be happier. There's a couple of songs I'd take this over than that. There are a couple of cuts on this album that I think this would have been better off on. Is this a go-to George Harrison song? No. I like it. I respected it. I like the influence of it's cool, but at the same time, I'm like, George, I defended you on Within You Without You, but I can't defend you on this. You're going way too much, man. Like Within You Without You, I'll be defending like the Japanese were in Hacksaw Ridge. I'll be but this song I'm like I like it, but I can't defend you, George. You're going too much. You're going way too Indian on this one. Way too much for even me. Even I'm like, I like it, but maybe tone it down just a teensy bit, just a teensy bit. Again, it's a good song. I mean, I wouldn't have been upset if it was on the album, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I could see why this was left off.
Yeah, of course. If you remember my review of Sgt. Pepper's, "Within You Without You" is my least favorite song on that album, and it's one of my least favorite songs of all time. And I think "Inner Light" is a worse song than that song. This is one of the worst songs
Ooh, wow.
the Beatles ever put together. And to be honest, I rarely ever listen to this song. It's one of those songs because it's so hard because you have to listen to past masters or, it's hard to get to because it's the B side of a single, and so it's one that I forget that's even a song until you bring it up. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that's a song. It's just so forgettable. It's a nothing song to me.
Out of George Harrison's Indian trilogy, this is my least favorite one. Within You Without You is the best. All I can remember from this song is doom 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 doom, and that's what the instrument sounds like.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but it sounds like the instrumental equivalent of Yoko singing.
Oh
My gosh.
Okay, I can't unsee that now.
You know what? I can imagine like when George Harrison's doing this, like I could just imagine like a snake popping up and dancing.
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like here's the thing though with the Indian trilogy is that like Love You Too is like
The other two songs are so much better than this.
like Love You Too is like a little bit of it. Within You Without You is like it's like a perfect
The
mixture
perfect blend.
blend, and then like this one's like he's going all in on it.
I don't even remember anything about the vocals or anything. All I can remember is that sound.
Arrive without traveling.
Yeah,
Wait,
I can't tell you a word that he sings on this album, around this song.
I'll say the lyrics are very. I don't know why. I really hate the lyrics of this. Let me pull up some of the lyrics. Start standing tired on your feet, light as head, just like me. You want to dance. I want to lead. A sleight of the hand that you never see. Like, what are these lyrics? What are you thinking about?
Yeah, if you were to just read those lyrics, I would have never been able to put that with a Beatles song.
Yeah, arrive without
Beatles
traveling. Like what? Like
it's kind of like Matchbox and Old Brown Shoe. It's like these really forgettable B-sides that I never listened to. I just never ever listened to them.
Yeah, it's like I rarely listen to past masters. The main way that I'm listening to these songs is if I have the 45 and I'm like, oh yeah, like I usually play the 45 right after the album that it comes out around. Like if I'm listening to Rubber Soul, I'll play We Can Work It Out and Day Tripper afterward, or I'll play Hey Jude and Revolution. Sometimes I'll stop the White Album after side 3 and just play Hey Jude and Revolution because I have the 45 of it. But I don't have the Lady Madonna 45, so the only time I'm ever hearing Inner Light is if I'm playing Past Masters, and because I don't like this song, I always skip it.
Yeah.
And like, I'll just go straight to I don't even know what's after. I don't even know what's after Inner Light on Past Masters because I think Hey Jude and Revolution have already gone by on the album. So.
All right.
I'll
Well,
look that up as Jacob's reviewing the thing.
I don't care for this song either. Now, I like George Harrison's other Indian infused songs. Love You Too was my favorite of the bunch.
Me too.
And I even liked Within You Without You. This one was just very forgettable. Like, I heard it and I'm like, there's ambition to it, but I can't tell you anything about it. The one thing I remember it is, like Scott said, that one Indian instrument, I can't tell you what it is, and it was more annoying than anything else. So, yeah, I can see why this was a B-side, but why is this the B-side to Lady Madonna? That's the other thing, too. It's like, that's like genre whiplash right there. That's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like taking two random Genesis songs together, doing one of the better songs from their debut album, and then follow that up with Calling All Stations. It's like, you'd think Genesis was an awful band if you did that.
Silent Sun backed with Congo.
Or imagine like the Lamnia, or no, or like imagine like That's All backed with the Waiting Room.
Why does that sound like a B-side they'd actually do though?
That would be wild if that was
Here's
the
a
case.
crazy idea. Why not put Glass Onion as the B-side? The song that literally
Oh,
references Lady Madonna in it.
that would be cool.
That would make sense, but yeah, I don't care for this one. And then we get to our other non-album single. It pains me that this song is not on a Beatles album, unless you buy one or Past Masters.
Or Hey Jude.
Yeah,
The U.S. album, yeah.
Hey Jude.
Yeah, why was this left off the album? I refuse to guess. I'm sure, Scott, you know something about this.
Yes, because in the UK, if you put a song out as a single, putting it on your album shows that you're just trying to sell out because you're making the fans pay for the same song twice.
Anyway, I love this song so much. If it was on the album, it'd be top 5 for me. It's one of those songs from the White. Again, I say it off. It's one of those Beatles songs that I go back to like repeatedly. It's just, I've seen the video a ton of times. I've listened to the song independent. So yeah, it's an all-timer.
Here's what I imagine John Lennon or Yoko Ono would say if they're reviewing the song. This song sucks. I prefer Revolution 9. That's a better song on the album. But I'm reviewing this song again. I think this is a much better song that would have been better off on the White Album than Revolution 9. I mean, this has to be like one of the most iconic songs
Yeah.
of a generation. I mean, just the regular song itself. Oh, hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Bum 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 bum. So let it out and let it in. Hey Jude, you know. Like the song itself is really nice, but then it gets to the yeah. Na 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 na. Na, 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 na. Hey Jude. It's one of those songs where it's like if you're at a concert, you could just see the
So good.
people with the lighters and just, kind of like it's one of those songs where, man, it's so iconic for many, many good reasons. And there was a video that I saw where it's like misunderstood lyrics, and it said instead of Hey Jude, the captions were Gay Jude. So I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Or no, Gay Jew, I mean. Gay Jew.
Oh no.
Okay.
No, I can't unhear it. So whichever YouTube channel showed that I saw.
Well, the movie yesterday, there's a joke in that movie where Ed Sheeran changed it to Hey Dude.
I love that.
That movie was not great.
Oh, I love that movie.
I like that movie. That was
It's
one
okay.
of
It could have been better
It
though.
makes no sense, but that's a whole nother stream for a whole nother time.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, I'm actually on Team Ryan on this one. I didn't like that movie.
Uh,
I went unconscious and everyone forgot the Beatles besides me and a couple of other people.
Like
Yeah,
what
Ed
else?
Sheeran.
What other bands haven't existed? Are the Stones a thing? Or did Black Sabbath form? Did Dio form the band and Ozzy Osbourne come along and then that whole thing still happened, but it was like Dio and Oz? It just raises too many questions.
And like somehow John Lennon's still alive now because he went
And
unconscious.
he's living quietly like off an island in the
And
UK
he-
somewhere.
Like that makes no sense to me. Like how did him going unconscious? Like how did the whole thing makes no sense to me. That whole
because the Beatles
like
didn't.
all the like it's one thing if they forget the Beatles existed, but like John Lennon's alive. I'm like that whole movie never made sense to me. But talking about Hey Jude though, I love this song. It's such a iconic Beatles song, and whoever dislikes the song, well, I will strongly disagree with you.
I will say you said John Lennon would probably say it was terrible, but apparently Paul McCartney said this is the only song that John Lennon ever told him he liked of his
Yeah.
songs.
No, wow.
Well, it's about Julian Lennon, so
Yeah.
it's
He's
got
probably like
behind it.
he's probably like I like this song, but it doesn't hold a candle to Revolution 9.
Yeah, this is one of the best Beatles songs of all time. I believe this is number 5 on my favorite Beatles song of all time. My 5th favorite. Yeah, the best. If it was on this album, it would be number 1. Sure. Love it so much. The piano playing. I love these piano songs Paul does. If you look at my top 10 favorite Beatles songs, Hey Jude, you got Let It Be in there. You got Long and Running Road. I love when Paul plays piano and sings these kind of ballad type songs. And yeah, it's such a cool, like lyrically kind of an encouraging song, kind of uplifting song, which I like. And yeah, the whole, he wrote it for Julian because his parents were going through a divorce, John and Cynthia, and so it was really nice because Paul really liked Julian. They had kind of a close relationship, probably even closer than his dad. His dad, like I said, wasn't a very good dad. And yeah, so I like that about it. I don't know. I love to take a sad song and make it better. I don't know. I always love that line. I always listen to sad songs when I'm not feeling good. I don't know why. I like to listen to sad songs. But anyways, you can go on and on. Yeah, the na na na. Oh, so good. Yeah, the greatest experience I've ever had in my life is seeing Paul McCartney sing that song live. If you ever seen it, you'll never go. I mean, nothing will ever top that. The whole audience singing the na 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 na, and then he has the audience just sing it, and they're not singing it, and you hear this just crowd of Beatle fans singing na na na, and then he says, okay, now just the guys, and then just the ladies, and then now everybody again. It's the greatest experience ever.
It just goes to show how uniting music can make people.
Yeah.
I'd say the
Yeah.
two biggest things that unite people is sports and music.
Yeah.
Like I could go to a Ranger game and I could have like zero. Like we could be arguing about everything else, like politics and all that, but like once the Rangers or the Mets get a home run, I'm high fiving the guy. I'm like, yeah, like so.
Yeah.
That experience of just uniting, like we're gonna be hating each other because it's just how humanity is, but this one single time we're just gonna get along for a little bit because we agree on one thing.
My first time hearing Hey Jude was in 2012 at the opening ceremony of the London Olympics.
Oh.
I had never really heard Hey Jude before. I knew who the Beatles were because I'd heard I Want to Hold Your Hand. But watching the opening ceremony, they're like, "Oh, now here's Paul McCartney, and he played Hey Jude," and I'm ashamed of myself. I was like, "This song is terrible. All he's doing is saying na 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 na, and it's going on for like 10 minutes. What's going on here? Like all he does is go na 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 na, and it drags on for so long. So for the longest time, I said I hate Hey Jude because it's too long and it just goes na 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 na. It's annoying." Man, I'm so disappointed in myself. I got the Blue album and was able to actually listen to Hey Jude. I was like, man, I could not have been more wrong about this song. It's so good, especially knowing the backstory behind the song about writing it for Julian Lennon. I will say one thing that really makes me sad is that I read that John Lennon was actually trying to get in contact with Julian Lennon more, especially right before he died, and just the fact that he got shot and wasn't able to mend that relationship makes me very upset. And what makes me even more upset is that Yoko basically wrote him out of John's will, and he had to buy back all of his dad's stuff.
Yeah.
That makes me mad. But I will say, Julian bought the walrus suit, so now he's the walrus. But I love how it just starts out with it's just his voice one note before the piano comes in, but it goes, "Hey Jude," and the piano comes in. I love that. I love how that's the intro. The piano comes in. Don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. The melody on this song is so catchy. Remember to let her into your heart, then you can start to make it better. And then the band comes in. And it goes bow, 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 bow. I love that. I love that little walk down there. Bow, 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 bow. And Ringo's drumming is so good on here. You get some harmonies from John there. And then just when you think, man, this is such a catchy song. I love it so much. You get to the end, it goes, better, 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 better. Oh, no, 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 no. And then they all come in, na, 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 na. Na 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 na, hey Jude, and they just sing that over and over and over again. And McCartney's just doing all these vocal ad libs like, wow, Jude, 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 wow, wow, and they just keep singing it. And then all these other instruments start playing along. There's an orchestra that comes in, and then I love how they do this. The fade on this song starts like halfway through the na 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 part, and it just slowly gets quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter, really slowly, until it finally fades out at the end. I love that about that, and I love in the music video where it's like you just see all these people just come together and they're all just singing na 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 na, hey Jude. It's so cool. Man, ever since I listened to this song after I said I hated it, I've always loved it because it's so good. I'm never gonna get tired of hearing this song, no matter how many times I hear it. It's just fantastic.
So I had a very similar reaction to this song as Scott. When I first heard the song, I'm like, I mean, it's a catchy song, but they sing the same thing over and over, and it goes on for too long. But then the more I've heard it, the more I'm like, yeah, am I really liking this song? Am I really liking this song? It's like the more I've listened to it, I'm like, man, I think I'm really starting to like this song. Now it's December 12th, 2024, 29 years old as of this day.
That's what this say.
This is my favorite Beatles song of all time.
Good choice.
Wow, this song is amazing. A great piano-led song. Really great chorus. The longest time I didn't know the backstory. I thought he was just Jude was just a random guy that Paul met. He's like, hey Jude, hey, take a sad song, make it better, and give him some dating advice. That's what I thought the song was about the longest time. But it's like, I think the backstory, knowing who Jude actually was, makes me love the song even more. It's like, hey, you're encouraging young Julian Lennon here. I'm like, I like that. Paul, you're a good sport.
Yeah.
Better than John in this scenario. But yeah, like I love the sentiment behind the song, but then actually the reason I love the song, why it's my favorite, once Paul does the better, 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 and then it gets to that na 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 stuff, I'm like, this is some cool stuff musically. And it's not just the repeated na-nas and Paul's ad-libbing and screaming, but just the orchestra that comes in every time another na-na starts. It's like, nah. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. that's like one of the coolest music drops in any song. So yeah, this song is I mean, I can see why other people would have like Yesterday as their favorite Beatles song, or A Day in the Life, or Come Together, Here Comes the Sun, or even Let It Be for that
Oh, yeah.
matter. But I think the one that I go back to a lot, I'm going with Hey Jude. That's my favorite Beatles song. And it's criminal that it's not on the White Album. Like, put this
Yeah.
as the second to last song instead of Revolution 9.
Yeah.
That and Goodnight, which were both written to the same person. It's like, that's an emotional two punch.
Yeah.
Like, very much a missed opportunity there.
Also, you were talking about giving somebody dating advice. That particular part of the song was written by Paul to himself because he had just met a young photographer named Linda Eastman.
Yeah.
All of the other Beatles, it seemed like, had a girl in their life, and for the longest time, Paul was like, because he had broken up with Jane Asher, he kind of messed that up. It was his own fault with that one. But he kind of reevaluated and was like, next time I meet a girl, like I want something to be like, I want it to be a good relationship that lasts. And then he met Linda, and he was kind of afraid to go after that relationship. But he wrote this song like partly for Julian, but partly also to encourage himself to go out and like, you have found her, now go and get her.
Yeah, and I think John thought Paul was writing about him and Yoko, and
Oh no.
He did until he said, no, it's about your son.
I think he thought Paul was writing saying, okay, John, you can leave or something, you know, like it's okay to leave or something like that. I don't know. John had this whole interpretation of what he thought it was.
Yeah. I think I'll just say it right now. The worst decision John did was go after Yoko. So, Revolution.
All right.
So this is the best version of Revolution by a lot. Like, I love the hard rock version of this. If it were on the album, I don't know if this would be in my 10, but it's still very good.
Yeah, I thought this was I like this version. I will say I do prefer the softer version, like I said earlier in the review. But I think this version's just fine. It's not one of my favorite Beatles songs, but it's not like a song I hate either. It's good for me.
Man, this is one of their best rock songs they ever came up with. That rocking intro guitar, oh my gosh, that's so good. Whatever.
That's almost like That's My Broom.
No.
I was trying to do it, but I couldn't do it quite right. But you know what I'm talking about, that intro.
That's My Broom, but better.
But much better. But man, because it's just a fast pace, like just really fast paced rocking guitar. And I love the video. If you watch the video where you see George playing that intro, so cool. Yeah, this was a great rock song. John just killing on the vocals. You can count me out, and the guitar playing is so good on this. It's one of the I'm repeating myself. It's one of the best rock songs they ever made. It's definitely like a top 5, top 3 song if it was on the album.
So, funny story about how I first heard this song. When I was first getting into the Beatles, I wanted to hear more Beatles songs. So my dad started playing a Beatles radio station on Pandora. Who remembers that app? But Revolution started playing, and you get like this hard rocking guitar intro. And as soon as Paul McCartney did that scream, I was like, "What is that? Like, this is so cool." I know I loved the song ever since then. It's one of the most hard rocking Beatles songs. Apparently, the way that they achieved that guitar sound is they plugged John Lennon's guitar straight into the mixing board and turned the volume all the way up to where it overloaded the sound. Apparently, there were rules against how loud you could turn the volume up on the board, and John Lennon was like, "We're gonna ignore the rules. Let's turn it up as loud as it can get and see what the sound is," and that's the sound that you hear. Another fun fact is that whenever people bought the Hey Jude Revolution single, a lot of people came back to the record store and wanted to exchange it for a new one because they thought that the record they bought was defective because of how distorted the sound was. But nope, that's just how the song sounds. I love the guitar sound on there, and then you say you want a revolution. Well, we all want to change the world, but don't. And then I think is it Billy Preston who's doing the electric piano on this? I don't know who it is. Someone's doing the electric piano on this, but they got a really cool electric piano. So like, and then the guitar comes in.
I'm looking it up right now. It's actually Nicky Hopkins who did it.
Oh, Nicky Hopkins. That's a great session piano player.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Crazy.
He's a
He
session
did work
man.
for the Rolling Stones a lot.
Yeah.
But Ringo's drumming, lots of great fills, lots of great drumming here. And I love that. You know what's going to be all right. All right. It really gets the message across that a lot of times people want a revolution because they're upset with what's going on, but they really are just filled with hate and are just causing destruction just for the sake of it. Like they almost like their cause that they're fighting for is just hateful. And kind of the point of this song is that if you're going to have a revolution, you can't do it in a way that's destructive because it makes it counterproductive. He uses the example of Chairman Mao, who was a communist leader, I think. Like saying if you go around carrying his picture, like that you're not going to make it with anybody. And that like if you're going to have a revolution, like count me out if there's going to be destruction, like because John Lennon was all into peace and love. And so a lot of people got him in trouble for this song because they thought, well, that's just a pacifist statement. Like, I thought you were an activist, John. And they got him in trouble for making this song. But it's like the message of this song just works so much better on this hard rockin' version than with the ho hum. You can count me out in shooby-doo-wop. I feel like this one just really drives the message more, and I love the end where it's like, all right, but down on no
Yeah, that's great.
If anybody ever says like, what does old rock and roll sound like? Let me hear an old rock and roll song. I'd play this one for them.
Now this is the revolution I'm digging. Revolution 1 sucked. Revolution 9 is something in itself. It's like a whole category of bad. But this song is awesome. The opening guitar riff is legendary. I think vocally this song is a lot better. John Lennon, I think, makes the point across better when, well, no joke, this is a hard rock song. Like when you're singing a song that's supposed to be this heavy, it makes sense to do it in this style. And it doesn't sound like it's a parody of itself. There's no goofiness in it. There's no messing around. It's just how it's gonna be. All right, and all that great guitar work, the drumming. It's a great rock song. Now, because this album is so stacked, it'd be great to put this in my top 10. There are just so many great songs on this album. It's just shy of making the top 10 if this was on the album, but man, if you had swapped this out, swapped Revolution 1 out, put this on here, yeah, be a better side 4. Songs that were released around the same time as the Abbey Road album. Start off with the B-side first, save the bigger song for last. Old Brown Shoe. Curious what we all think of this one.
I can see why this one was left off, but I still think it's a really good song. Like,
Okay. Yeah, of the 3 George Harrison songs we're covering, this is by far the weakest of the 3. I mean, I know I'm not going to be hurting anyone's feelings on that take. It's okay. It's an okay B-side. I don't really have much more to add either.
This is one of my least favorite songs in the Beatles catalog. I never listened to the song because it's not on any album. You'd have to listen to past masters to get to it or whatever. So it's like it's a song I rarely ever listen to, and when I do, I'm like, this is a terrible song. This is one of those terrible B-sides that just are so obscure. I even forget this. As a big Beatles fan, I forget this song exists until someone mentions it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a song. It's terrible.
This is an okay George Harrison song. I like the guitar riff. Bow, 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 bow. And the lyrics are kind of interesting, talking about duality, like, he keeps saying, like, opposites of things. But that's about it. It's kind of there, and then it's gone. It's not one of my favorites. And a lot of the times we talk about these singles, it's like, I can't believe they didn't put this on the album. You're not going to be hearing that this time. The album is perfect as it is. Keep this as the B-side. This is the definition of B-side.
Yeah. I'm kind of in agreement. I don't dislike the song like Jason does. I think it's a really cool sounding song. I had to actually look at it because Nick said George Harrison sung it. I thought John Lennon sung this one. Then I looked up, I'm like, oh, it is George. He sounds like John Lennon on this song, strangely enough, in my ears. But I like the bluesiness of the song. I think that's pretty cool. I think is there like a harmonica on here too? I think that was pretty good. I can see why this wasn't on the album, and I'm not gonna like whine and complain that they did not put this on the album because I think if this was on the album, it would feel out of place. But as a B-side, it's not bad. Now we go to the big hit song that was not on the Abbey Road album, "The Ballad of John and Yoko."
So when I was preparing to listen to this, I said a prayer to God. I said, God, please make this at least listenable. Please, for the love of your creation, please let this be listenable. Because I was preparing for some bullshit with and John being like, like just doing various things out of a Nightmare on Elm Street film. This song's actually very good. Like, better. I know I heard it before. It's better than I remembered it being. I can see why it got left off, but it's still very good.
Yeah, I'm definitely the biggest fan of this song. I know Jason and Scott really don't like this song. Sorry I spoiled your guys' review on this.
World.
I'm like, they're like bigger Beatle fans than me, but I'm like, this is like one of my favorite Beatles songs. I'm really upset this wasn't on Abbey Road, in my opinion. Instead of that silly Hammer song, have this on it instead. It was insane. I really like this song because it's like Paul and John getting along for one more time. It's kind of like their last hurrah as like a duo. The harmonies from Paul are great. She's gonna crucify me. Love so good. Yeah, to me, this is a big song I wish was on the album.
Yeah, this is like, it's one of my least favorite Beatles songs, and it was a number one. It went number one. I think it might have been their number one single that they put out or something like that. And it's the worst number one single that they ever put out. I hate that they made a number one out of this. I can't believe it. I don't think many people talk about the song. I don't know how it's a number one. When you talk about great Beatles songs, this is not one of them. I think anybody ever talks about that. At least that I hear people when we talk about Beatles. Yeah, the interesting fact of this, it's just John and Paul. Ringo and George are not on this song at all, because John kind of came up with the song kind of on the whim or kind of impromptu, I guess, in a bit, because he was trying to get married to Yoko and he was having a lot of problems, and the song kind of tells the story of how they're having trouble. They had to go to different places and they went loud and to get married or something. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what the story is, but they were having a lot of trouble, and so John kind of started writing this song based on that. And the only person around, I guess, was Paul, and so I'm sure Paul was doing like the drums and the bass or something, and John was maybe doing guitar. I don't know. So it's an interesting story, I guess, behind it. But yeah, musically, I never cared for the overall music of it. And there's something about the lyrics. Christ, I know it ain't easy. I know how hard it can be. The way things are going, they're going to crucify me. I just those lyrics just rub me wrong. I don't know if he's trying to compare himself to Jesus when Jesus got crucified. And it's like, I'm getting crucified like Jesus. Maybe I'm reading way too much in the lyrics. If I am, I'm sorry. But I just know that I never liked those lyrics. And like, I didn't like him using the word Christ at all. None of it I like. Anyway, so I'll go to you, Scott, see what you think.
Ready for my hot take? I don't have a lot of them, but here's one of them.
Okay, I think you're in agreement with me then.
I hear a garbage can coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, technically the song's not terrible, but the fact that this was a #1 single just baffles me.
Okay.
I this was on the Blue album. I never really listened to it that much, but every time I heard it, I was like, this is on the Beatles' greatest hits. Like, it's like they have so many better songs, and this was a big hit. I just don't understand that. Like, it's not even the Beatles; it's John and Paul. I mean, granted, the White Album, a lot of the songs are just one of them, but still, like, Ringo's not drumming on here. There's no George on here, and I guess another reason I don't like it is because it's about Yoko, I guess.
Yeah.
But the only thing I like about it is the bass that's like the don't, 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 don't. That's pretty cool, but I don't like the way he sings. Like, there's some kind of weird effect on this where it's like, sitting in the dockets of heaven.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I think of a great Beatles song, this is not one that I'm going to point to. In fact, I didn't even listen to this song in preparation. I have probably listened to this song less times than I have fingers on my hand.
Ooh.
Because every time that I have heard it, I'm just like, I just don't like this. I don't really care for the story. It's just how John and Yoko ended up together when obviously like his first wife was a lot better. And I don't like the melody. Other than sitting in the dockets of Hampton and they're going to crucify me. Those are the only two lines I can remember from the whole song. Everything else is before they make me run. And yet somehow that was a #1 single. I don't get it. That's just me.
Yeah.
It's the Beatles, so I get it.
I actually did a check. It only went to #1 in the UK. In the US, it reached the top 10. It reached like #8. So where we're at, it did not go to #1. It only went to #1 in England. So to clarify on that. As for my thoughts on the song, because it's kind of divisive, I'm in the middle on it. I don't hate it. I don't love it either. The subject matter of the song is kind of icky because I'm not real big on John and Yoko for obvious reasons. The melody's catchy. I do like the melody. It's cool that John and Paul are the only ones playing on the track, and Paul's harmony vocals on this song are actually pretty awesome. That's my favorite part of the song. I'm not fully offended by the crucify reference because if you look at the history of crucifixion, it's like it wasn't just Jesus that was crucified. That was the common punishment of like your worst criminals in the Roman Empire. So if you make a comparison to being crucified, that's not going to offend me. I don't like how he indirectly uses Christ like he's no big deal. That's like my only real issue with that. But the crucify line, I don't have a problem with that. The song itself, to me, is just okay. Like, it's catchy. I'm not real big on the subject matter. To me, it's just their Beatles song. We're going to start with the B side first because this one, I'm curious what you guys have to say about this one. You know my name, look up the number.
Nick, I'm gonna need you to do me a favor. Can I see the can, please?
The trash can up there.
You have my exact opinion on this song. That's it. I appreciate you, Nick.
That's
Kiss
why
the can.
that's my review on the song. I think you guys preferred that over that, whatever that's supposed to be in. What a wasted talent of Brian Jones at the end too with the sax. But yeah, this exists. Let's move on.
Yeah, it's one of the worst things the Beatles put together at the very end of their career. One of the worst B-sides probably they ever put on a. I can't believe this is on a B-side. It's just so stupid. I mean, I guess it's better than putting on. I'm glad it's not on an album. I'd hate to have to hear this on an album, because for the most part, I can just pretend this song doesn't exist and just never listen to it. You know,
I
except
think
for
it technically is on an album if you have Past Masters.
I was gonna say, except for if I listen to Past Masters, I have to hear the song. That's probably the only time I've ever heard the song was on Past Masters, and going, "What the heck is this song?" It's only one lyric, right? It's the same thing over and over again, if I remember right. It's just nonsensical nonsense.
I'm wondering if I should leave my review ambiguous, like you guys, just to, if anybody's never heard this song, to save the mystery for them, or if I should go in depth on this song, even though it's not very good. I'll say this. If you ever go into an old restaurant, like a really old restaurant, and they still have a functioning jukebox that actually plays 45s, and they have to let it be 45, you control the entire diner because there's also a button for the B-side.
Yeah.
This is what B-sides are for. You have the hit, and then you have a throwaway song that, well, a lot of times it can be a really underrated hidden gem, but this is what a B-side is. Textbook definition. This is textbook definition of what a B-side should be. A song that was not good enough for your albums that you throw on, you know, just so that you have another song to put on your record. And it's just them doing silly voice. I'll say this. It's John and Paul getting to have fun together one last time, but the results are not very good. It's just them doing these goofy voices. And I get that they were all big fans of Monty Python. That kind of reminds me of Monty Python. Yeah. I mean, George Harrison funded Holy Grail like half of the movie. He paid for like half the movie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you want to hear them just go, you know my name. Look up the number. You know my name. Good evening. Let's hear Dennis O'Bell do his lovely dance. You know my name. Look up the number. Literally, it sounds just like that. That's literally the song.
Yeah.
You've probably heard me do that, and you're just like,
unfortunately,
funny
Scott is 100% correct.
That is the song, and then there's like these weird noises. It's like, you know my name, and then the very end. You get Brian Jones from the Rolling Stones, the talented multi-instrumentalist behind songs such as Under My Thumb, Paint It Black.
Yeah.
You know, the guy who plays all the exotic instruments on the Rolling Stones early stuff. And he's just doing a saxophone solo for just a few seconds. And then you get I think there's like a burp at the end too. And it's just like, thank goodness this did not see the light of day on any of their albums, because if so, it would have been even worse if they had put this on the American Hey Jude album. If that was the closer for the American Hey Jude album, that would have been awful. No. Yeah, the Beatles are my favorite band, but they are not without their flaws, and this is one of them.
Yeah, this song sucks. If Revolution 9 never existed, this would be the worst Beatles song of all time. True. This is the number 2 worst Beatles song for me. The sad thing is, first part of the song, which has kind of a groove to it. I didn't mind that, even with the repeated line. But then you got 4 additional minutes after that. They keep changing genres, and they just say the same stupid line all over again in the most obnoxious ways. Like, there's a Latin flavored version of it, and then there's like this sketch comedy version of it, and then there's this weird spoof jazz version of it. I'm like, and then every time they change it, the more annoying the song gets, especially when they do all these stupid voices and stuff. I'm like, what are we doing? And then it's already been said, Brian Jones is on this song from the Rolling Stones, and he plays the saxophone. I think what's even sadder is this was the last thing Brian Jones ever did as a musician before his tragic death. So it's like, what a waste. What a waste. Especially some of the amazing instrumental work he did on the Rolling Stones. It's like, why would you bring him on a joke song? That's essentially what the song is. It's just a big troll song. And sometimes troll songs can be funny, but 4.5 minutes? Oh, this is stupid.
Robbery, assault, and battery. Yes. You know my name. No.
Well, now we're at the last bonus song, and this is the one that's like, you got an album that's got Maggie May, but the one that you decide to cut out from the album is Don't Let Me Down? Phil Spector, do you have anything to say there?
Well, this song is fantastic, especially if you listen to the one from the rooftop. Like, I heard the one for Past Masters for this, and I'm like, I like it, but there's something missing here. And then I'm like, what is it? And then sure enough, there was like more reverb. There was like more to it. And then it's like, oh, they did more in the live version. It's gotta be. It still doesn't change the fact that this is a fantastic song, and it is.
Yeah, this is a really good song on the that should have been on the album. Yeah, this should have been on the album, especially knowing it could have been on here instead of the extremely lousy one after 909. Could have swapped those 2 songs out, and you would have had. It still wouldn't have been a 10 out of 10 for me personally, but definitely would have saved the score a little bit. And yeah, it still boggles my mind how this was left off the album, and one after 909 was on the album.
Yeah, what doesn't make sense is that they rehearsed the song quite a bit in the documentary, and they play the song on the rooftop twice. Why would you not put it on the album when you spent so much time on it in the documentary? It makes no sense. That it's not added. Yeah, I don't get it myself why they didn't add this. I really love this album, but man, you put this song on the album, it's even better. It'd be even better album. It'd be higher on my list probably of Beatles albums. Who knows? It's John's best song. I mean, John is so good on this song. The guitar playing is amazing. His singing is amazing. It's such a good song, and even lyrically, I think it's great. Yeah, it's one of my favorite Beatles songs. It's not on this album. It's crazy, and I feel like John only has maybe 2 songs on this album. I feel like Dig a Pony and Cross the Universe, is that really like the only 2 major John songs? Paul McCartney kind of really dominates this album. He has like 5 pretty big songs on this album, and John's only left with like 2. Why don't you put more John songs on here? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, but it's a great song. It would be in my top 5 for sure if it was on the album.
So I was just saying that You Know My Name is like what a B-side textbook definition is. This is what you want a B-side to be. But the fact that this was just regulated to the B-side of Get Back is so disappointing. Oh, so good. This is like the first song they wrote for this album too. And they rehearsed it so much. They did it on the rooftop, and then nope, B-side. That's it. Now, I think I know maybe why they didn't put it on the album, or at least why they didn't include the rooftop version. The rooftop version is my favorite, but John Lennon messes up the lyrics. But it's so funny. He's like,
Yeah.
like she
Turned to a
do.
weird chef all of a sudden.
But that's what he actually does. But it's so funny when he does that. I think on "Let It Be Naked" they do a cut of, they use the first half of the rooftop version, and then the second half of the song they use the second rooftop version. They put them together so that they don't get the messed up words. But even with the messed up words, the first rooftop version is still my favorite version of the song, because the way they hit the harmonies with the "Don't let me down," the way they do it on that one is just so powerful. And the Paul just like, "Don't let me down." Like, I feel like his background vocals are kind of toned down on the studio version, and the first rooftop version is just a lot more powerful. Even with the, I even like it with the messed up lyrics. I know that's not how the song goes, but it's funny. Thankfully now you can listen to the first rooftop version. They put the rooftop concert on streaming now, so
Okay.
I can actually listen to it without having to go to a bootleg or go on YouTube. Beatles rooftop concert, "Don't Let Me Down" version 1. But I really wish this was on the album, be it the single version, or even if they had put the rooftop version with its messed up lyrics. Like, this should have been somewhere on this album.
Again, this album has Maggie May and Dig It, 2 filler tracks, one of which feels incomplete. You put those 2 songs on there, and this one's not on there. That I will never understand. This is a fantastic song. If this was on the album, it would have been in my top 5 easily. I love this song. Either the studio recording, I think the rooftop version is better. I think there's more energy to that version. But I do like the soulfulness that's in the studio version, even though the tempo is a little bit slower. I still think it's a great song regardless. You still got the great harmonies. This is probably John Lennon's best vocals in this era of the album. I think, even though I like "Across the Universe" and "Dig a Pony," this is easily the best thing John did. And again, it's crazy. It's not on the album. This is a great song. It's crazy we're done talking about the Beatles albums, because this has been a fun series, but it's been fun.
So
But now let's
there are 3
talk-
songs talked about that are Beatles songs, but
When we get to the anthology, we can go over "Real Love Free as a Bird" and "Now and Then." No,
No.
we're not doing the anthology.
I'd say I'm not going to listen to them now and then, so I'll be silent in that review.
right, because you have to buy the anthology to get to the songs, and then you have to buy the Blue album, I think, the remake to get.
I got the what is it?
You got the single.
I got the single. 2 of them actually. I got the big single, and I ordered the little single first, but then I saw this in the store, and I'm like, I have the chance to buy something the Beatles released in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it twice.
That's crazy.
Anthology.
I will say, I've not heard the other anthology songs, but I have heard "Now and Then." I think "Now and Then" does feel like an end, which is really cool. It's really cool that they were able to
That's the end.
take a song that had never been released, use the technology to finish it, and get all the Beatles living and dead together and make a really beautiful song.
Yeah.
All right, but
Get those 3 albums, then you got the Beatles.